before we get to the Trey stuff, the late game, those situations where you were able to pull close with a couple possessions, but could never get over the hump. What was the difference tonight in not being able to push that lead even further?
Yeah, I mean, proud of the guys for hanging in there, keeping us going. Had a couple possessions, our ball hit every part of the rim. Those are deflating possessions when everything feels perfect coming off your hand. The thing does everything but go in. Those are deflating, but our guys kept competing. They kept battling through it. Made the decision not to foul up 6. I thought Trey made a great defensive play. Unfortunately, they called a foul on him, but we get that steal. We come down. We got timeouts. We can set up our press. Unfortunately, didn't get the call down there at the end. But, having Trey out there was a great lift. You see how much better we are with his intensity, with his leadership, with his passion on the defensive end of the floor. I thought Alonzo had great pressure on the ball, getting deflections. I think 9 steals we had on the night. And, again, Trey just gives us a whole different element out there, being able to put him either on the ball or on the other team's best defender. That's going to be huge for us moving forward. For Trey, as I talked to him and, having an opportunity in my career to come back from a long layoff, it's all about going out there and letting the game come to you and making simple plays. And I thought Trey did a great job of that tonight. And, stepping up and knocking down that first 3, knocking down all his free throws, and then, again, giving us that huge lift. As far as his minute load, we talked about anywhere from 16 to 22. Going into that, we have a chip that our guys wear underneath their jerseys. When I met with RJ, our trainer, at halftime, he said his load was in a perfect spot and we could up his minutes by about 3 in the second half. So that's where the decision was, to get him up, I believe, over 21, right in line with where we wanted his load to be. So it's great to have Trey back out there on the floor, and just got to continue to grind. We got a great opportunity this week. Going to have a good practice time. Our guys start school tomorrow. It's our mandatory off day. But then we get 3 really good opportunities to practice, which we haven't had a lot because of either, didn't get back from West Lafayette because of a flight delay or a mechanical issue, and, with games being right on top of each other. So we'll get 3 good days of practice heading into Ohio State and hopefully be able to clean some things up.
How much of that time are you guys going to spend on late game execution?
A lot.
What are you guys going to work on during that time?
Late game execution.
The way the ball hits every part of the rim, you mentioned that a few times. Is there a cumulative effect of that, where after you've seen it hit every part of the rim a couple times, then you see it after the next game, you see it hit once, and maybe that deflation sets in again?
No, I don't think it's got anything to do with being cumulative. Just unfortunately, as a shooter, you got to trust that the next one going in. And, again, we had a couple that hit every part, and there's, bounced out and went back in. And, I thought we had a couple really good contests from the mid-range. And, Geronimo made, I think, 3 of them in the first half. A couple of their other guys as well. Big difference in the halves as far as defensively. I thought we did a much better job sitting on Trace Jackson-Davis' right shoulder and forcing him to go to his right hand. We did a great job all game long in Bloomington, but first half he just continued to get to that right shoulder and get to his left hand. Fake right, go to his left, dribble right, spin back to the left. We finally got on that, playing that right hand where he was spinning back, and, you saw the difference. And we had a much better defensive half, but it was too easy for him there in the beginning, and that showed with the percentages. So, again, a lot of things that we can continue to work on and hopefully get over the hump on one of these games soon.
Difficult the way that game was just played out to get in a rhythm on either end of the court, all the starts and stops.
We cut it to 4 on a couple of occasions. We just could not get over the hump. We couldn't get that big stop. We couldn't get the basket when, to cut it to a single possession game. I don't think we ever got there. And, you got to find a way to buckle down and get that stop, make the right play. We had a couple plays in the lane to get right to the basket, and we tried to kick it out and turn it over. I think we had 3 of those, where we had opportunities. We missed a couple right there at the rim. You got to capitalize. You got to finish. In order to get over the hump and win these games, you got to be able to make those plays when they present themselves.
Coach, you're wearing the shirt now, a little off basketball. What's it like to be able to play on MLK Day?
Yeah, it's an absolute honor to play on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I've been very fortunate over the course of my career as a player playing on this day, as a coach in the NBA playing on this day, and it's special. It's an absolute honor to play on this day, understanding what this great man meant to our history and means to our history. And there's a lot of work to be done, obviously, for what his vision was and what his message was. But, for our players, it's an honor to be able to go out there and play on this day and honor a great man.
With Derek, the second game he's been in foul trouble. Is there something that he can do differently, or is that just the competition?
Yeah, I think it's about the fourth game in a row now where he's had 2 fouls pretty early in the contest, and you see what happens. That Eduardo was much better today than he was. He really struggled, obviously, in his early minutes against Purdue. So I was proud of Eduardo going out there and having a positive impact on the game when Derek got those fouls. But he's got to find a way to fight through it and battle through it. I think he played 6 minutes in the first half. He's such an important part of what we're doing right now. We got something going with the middle pick and roll, just different ways to get there. You look at our percentages, I think this is the second best defensive team in the country, and we had some really good quality possessions. And, that was with Derek out of the lineup for a big stretch of that. So there's some positives that we can take from this, but just consistently for 40 minutes, we got to be better.
Is that the biggest contributing factor for him, the fouls and his only 3 shots tonight?
Yeah, it was. It was a big part of it. And, again, when you get that, it was almost like it was here we go again for Derek. It almost looked like that was in his mind tonight. He's continued to fight through it, continued to battle, and he's been our biggest warrior, throughout this stretch. Tonight he had a tough game. It's going to happen on certain nights, but we got to find a way to grind it out. We have a very thin margin, obviously. We need everybody to go out there and contribute if we want to win.
Why do you think it was difficult for your guys to guard Trace Davis?
Well, obviously he's one of the best players in the country. And the first half, it was as simple as him continuing to get to that right shoulder. And second half, we did a much better job, forced him to use his right hand. And, going in the game plan, we did a really good job the first time we played him, sitting on that shoulder, really guarding him well. But tonight, just time and time again, in the first half, we continued to let him get to his left. And he's pretty much unstoppable and unguardable when he is allowed to get to his left hand.
After Purdue getting creative to try and help Derek stay out of foul trouble, I know he gets through zones out there tonight and through double to Trace Jack. Is there something of those options you like better than the rest early on?
Yeah, Derek in a lot of games says, and listen, every night you're going to be guarding top players. We had not been guarding the 3-point line well. We did a pretty good job tonight with that. So, we've changed our philosophy on it. We've been guarding a lot more one-on-one. When Derek's gotten 2, we have gone to some zone. But we hung in there tonight when Derek had the 2, so we made the decision to keep Eduardo out there for the majority of that first half when Derek got his 2 fouls. Thanks, guys.